Hello there, welcome back to another video. So today we are on the Create mod, or more accurately saying the Create Plus mod pack on Modrinth. It's pretty cool so far. I've looked around the world a little bit. We've got some cool little atmospheric details. It's a different type of world, so it is using other mods, but mainly the mod I want to focus on today is World Edit. Sorry, that's the wrong mod. I want to focus on the Create mod. Yeah, there we go. The second time's the charm. Basically, I had a person in my Discord, a very lovely person, who suggested this idea to me by my Discord, which you should totally join, by the way. And it's to build a base, similarly to how I did my Redstone one recently, but doing it with the Create mod. And the Create mod's an interesting thing because it's got all these different details, and they all look super fun. And they look very complicated, and I kind of want to learn them in this video. But before we can do that, before we can get into making the base, or sorry, the create mod stuff, we have to actually build the base. So we have to find a place for it to go. We have to do all the interesting stuff. And before I do anything else, I mean, that's like a really good place, because you've got, yep, this is where the build is going. Decisions have been made. Decisions. Let's start on the steampunk build. What we have to do for the base is, I'm going to do something square, I think, originally. I want to just get an outline. I haven't done this in a while, actually. I mean, getting like a basic outline for a build. Let's start off with something flat. I don't want to spend too much time on this. At least this terraforming section. So we can just flatten out a big area so we have a good idea, which is a good command, which is //set air, like that. And then we've got a big area we can work with. This is what we've got working so far, and we just need to basically get an idea of what this base is going to look like on the floor. So let me get out some red wool. Before I do that, though, let me do time set today. I actually forgot to do that. There we go. Now it will stay day forever. And basically we want to get an idea of how big this base is going to be, because we want stuff to be going on the inside. So getting out like a regular, just like cube shape to start off with is probably our best bet. Yeah, I kind of like that. I like that side. That's big enough that when you're on the inside, you're probably going to be, there's enough room to walk around. It's going to be a little compact in areas, I think, if we do it this big. So we might want to extend this outward area here so that there is more room around the back. That looks very nice. So we've got an idea of how this base, like the base of the base, is going to look now. Now we just have to get into the build, and I'm going to start shaping this off camera because I don't want to do all that on camera, because that could take quite a while, if I'm going to be honest. There's certain areas of this build where I just need to do like little handiwork like this and just fix areas up. And a lot of this is going to be a lot of like, a lot of stuff that's going to happen off screen is like testing and making sure my mods work, because a lot of this I haven't actually done yet. Like a lot of the controls I haven't set in place, so that could take like a good 30-40 minutes. It's just getting everything back in the way I like it, so I can build like at a good pace. So I'm gonna do that all off camera, but then I'll get back to this build, and hopefully it will look really nice once we've got a good outline for where we want everything to go. So I have blocked out the idea of where the base and where everything's going to go now. I think it looks very lovely. It's got a lot going on here, I'm not going to lie. It's very complicated. I've accidentally done this angle of where, if you look at it from this side angle, everything points up to this top point. So I might have to do something spiky up here, maybe like a tower or something, so it looks really nice and like everything's uniform. If we stand back, we've got a cool, it's very messy. It's hard to see right now, but I hope when it's done, it will look a lot better. There are certain areas that I can tell might not look great in the final build, so I might have to tweak those as I go along. So the next thing up is to fully block it out, fully block it out with colors and ideas. Not any heavy details yet, but little areas like where the colors are going to go, where I might place windows, details, etc, etc. Vanilla is a good tasting ice cream. You know, one of the things I really like about slightly modded packs is they have like an arrangement of blocks that isn't too unvanilla, but it's just adds a little bit more, so that I can let my creativity let loose a little bit. He's loose! Like these little pipes on the roof, these are usually, they allow a lot of smoke usually. Other things I've been working on is things like these pipes. They came with a cool design here by using a stripped birch log here to make it look like it was connected into the wall. And I'm sure there are connecting points in the mod pack, because I'm only in the designing phase. I do want to do a little bit with the create mod, as in like figuring all this stuff out. But it's fun using all the items to add into the steampunk build. I think it looks really nice. So far, as you can probably tell, the whole thing hasn't been built yet. There's still a big chunk around the back that I'm still working on. Only around halfway done. But for what we have done, it looks very nice. I like these two pillars on the front. It feels very kind of gothic. I guess not. I mean, the pillars, they feel gothic. The house feels very, I don't know. It feels kind of like it from an animated film that it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember it. I do really like certain areas. I do like the glass. My favorite area of the whole build, I'm going to be honest, my favorite area is this like front section, this diagonal. I really love how that just looks so nice compared to the rest. I mean, the rest of the build's nice, but this area, I just like that so much. And the fact that I could build this in vanilla too is what makes it so nice, because you've just got this really nice shape, and it works so well, and it would work so well in vanilla. And I really want to like do a house like this in vanilla too. But there's just so many, there's like extra blocks and things. It's not like an insane amount, because if you watch on the Terra SMP ones, that was like massive, thousands of blocks. I mean, I reckon there's thousands of blocks in this, but like, there's just enough blocks. There's enough blocks that is really cool. What is that? That looks awesome. I'm getting distracted. Anyways, that's what we've got. That's what I've done so far. It's really cool. And with that, most of the base is done, at least for today. I actually really like this mod, and I haven't actually said it in this video, but it gives me these fun little glasses on my head, and they make me feel all techy and things. I actually want to make a version of my skin with them on, because they just look so fun. Now, beside that point, the whole base looks very lovely, doesn't it? It looks brilliant. I haven't actually seen it with shaders on. I had to work a little bit on this back area, because at first it didn't look great, but I ended up going for this factory thing because it had the slanted roof, and I thought that worked well. And then I added this little extra bit on to add a little depth, and that really worked well too. This back area, I'm going to be honest, it's just a bunch of leaves. I haven't put too much of my brain power into it, so maybe I'll come back to this. I'll see if I might add some pipes in or whatever, because I've only added really one pipe in the whole thing so far, and it does, two there. There's two of them. But they work really well, and they make it feel a lot more steampunky. Tomorrow, I will be doing, well, I guess it's the next thing for you, but for me tomorrow, what I'll be doing is I'll be adding in lots of details. And the one thing I do really want to do is I've added like a smokestack here, but I want to add a windmill on the side. I think there's a windmill thing in this. Yes, there we go. There's a windmill parts where you can like have a spinning windmill, and that's the first thing I want to try out. I want to have a spinning windmill on the side of this, and if it looks good, I want to try it in other areas too. I'm not quite sure where I'd put the others, but it might as well try. I've also got an idea. I just had an idea out of nowhere to add in some ladders in places, just to make it look like you can climb across, like even in areas like that, just like to fill in a bit of detail, adding a little tads of things. Ladders are surprisingly good details, and I'm going to go on another tangent here because I feel like it. But yeah, sometimes ladders can be really good details, especially modded ones where you've got like multiple variants, because they're just these cool, like, they've just got cool patterns about them. They look really industrial. They always do, no matter where you put them. This one's going to look better if it was an actual ladder, I think, because there are certain areas I could use it. Or this area here. See what this looks like if I do that on both sides. I like that. I think that looks nice. Maybe I'll come back to it. Maybe there's a version of it that looks better. But there's lots of places we can use these in. There's a lot of blocks in this mod pack that I've tried to use to the best extent that I can. And I really love all the window shapes and formations. And we've got a lot of room on the inside. Ooh, that's a fancy door. I didn't know it did that. But we've got a lot of room on the inside. I know it's a little dark. I don't have any night vision on. We've got a lot of room on the inside to try this area out. Yeah, you get the idea. There's lots of room on the inside. There's lots of areas where we can do cool things. If you're planning on using Create, these thick glass blocks look like grates. And they're really good. So that's another thing if you want to do it. Okay, yeah, well, I'm really pleased with this.
Oh, yeah, just one moment.
Okay, day 2, and I'm ready to do Create mod stuff. The interesting part of the video, the part of the video you probably want to see. Anyways, I was doing some interesting stuff on the roof here. I know that's building again, and I said I'd do Create. But the first thing that I want to do is I want to create a windmill. That's a 2 center point, which is probably not great for creating a windmill. I actually don't know how you do this, so I guess I need the sail. I guess the first thing we need to do is create a water wheel then, so we can power it somehow. Or actually a windmill would be self-powering, wouldn't it? Because that's like, you know, wind. There's not really any other way I can do that. Let's first like reposition this just really quickly, so we can have a build that actually kind of looks right. It will look a little strange, but maybe the off-center stuff will work with. There we go. I'll fix that later. Yeah, off-center kind of works actually because it fits in line with this thing that's kind of off-center. I'm going to have to look at a tutorial to do this. 1 second. Now, you may be wondering, or think to yourself, that it's not a great windmill design. It looks a little weird. Well, that's the best I could do because I'm still learning the create mod. It's strange. Don't blame me, please. I beg of you. But I think that works as a windmill. I like some parts of it. Let me get some of that other create stuff. What's it called? Shafts and cogwheels and large cogwheels. And maybe if I do that now, will it like? It turns. Brilliant. Let me just place that there. And then if I do that, yay, they all spin in time with one another. Okay, so that works. That's good. We've got moving parts now, which is really cool. I can update this design later if I want to. I figured out how to do it now. And now we can look at the other create stuff, which is slightly more interesting, maybe? I'm not sure how any of this actually works. But actually, one thing I do want to do is I want to add more pipes into the build. I know they're useless and they don't actually do anything, but I like them. They look very nice. I know I've gone straight back to building after doing this, but I've just like I've had like a rush of ideas since I've slept, so I wanna do more details like this on the build. But I have to go back. I can't let my mind get overcome with other stuff. Yeah, and we need it to attach to water. I just realized that. So hopefully it should be moving if we do this. Perfect. Yes, wonderful. So we can just break all this down here and bring it down to the water side over here. And we're obviously going to fill this up, and we're trying to have this as flowing as possible. We can have a little mini waterfall down here, and that would work well for the water wheel. Brilliant. There we go. And now we just like fill this whole area up with water. Yeah, I like that. It's a little straight, so I might have to fix that up, but I hope it doesn't have to be flowing water. I have to cut away now because I seriously am going to get so distracted if I don't get to work on this. So I've been chewing on a pack of minstrels while I work on the river down here. I think it looks very lovely. I was originally going to go for the stony thing, but I ended up just going for like dirt instead with mud and things. I've never done something like that before, but it looks quite nice. And I added some white panes of glass and things in to create the fog effect. The thing is, the water wheel is moving now. Water wheel, yes, that is the name of it. And it kind of works with a fan. But there's a lot of movement on the side of the building now, which looks very lovely. I've added in a couple more pipes, and I've been thinking about doing a small interior. I won't do anything massive because it's a pretty big build, and I don't think I'll be able to fill the whole thing. So maybe I'll just fill up these 2 rooms and see if we can fit some things inside. There's a lot we've got going on here, and we can probably actually, what I want to do next is, it's not a create mod thing, and I know I said earlier that I was going to do more create mod stuff, but I want to make the garden out front. It's looking a little bland, so I'm going to fix this area up and make the interior. So I'm going to do all the final details now. All the final details, so you don't have to watch me build anymore. If you like me building, then I'm very sorry. Maybe I'll show a little bit more, just for those people. Warning, in the next segment, I speak French. Bonjour, mon ami. Welcome back. So, I know what I want to do in this room now. I've done a little bit of detailing, as you can see. I've just done this. This is a cuckoo clock, and it needs power to move. So we can go cuckoo, cuckoo. You get the gist. I need to fill these with books. But the only way I can get power is I kind of want to route it all the way through the building to one of these. I think I'm going to go for my windmill because I like it more. I want to route it down there, and it's going to be a longer journey so I can do more stuff with it. So I'm going to route the entirety of the cuckoo clock. Like, this whole building would just be powering one cuckoo clock. And I think that's very funny. So, yeah, I'm going to try and do that now. I'm going to have to figure out how this whole thing works. I still need to break through there. There we go. There we go. So I guess we have to start by grabbing cogwheels. Big ones and small ones. Okay, guys, I figured that out. It only actually took like a couple seconds, but basically use one of these, I think. Yes, perfect. So it now twists from all the way up here. All of these twist all the way down, and then this one connects onto there. I guess we don't need a support beam after all. you know, doesn't matter too much. I'll open this up. Don't just pretend that isn't there. Now, hopefully, the clock is moving. I can hear it moving. I think it's just very slow. It is a very realistic clock. I thought it would be more interesting than that. Very sorry. I thought it would be like cuckooing every couple minutes. Nope. No, I was just wrong. Anyways, that looks really nice. You've got a room, the most complicated powered cuckoo clock ever. If we use, actually, if I just break this, instead of having, if I power it like that, hopefully now you won't be able to see all that stuff from behind it. Yeah, that looks slightly better. Because these are called gearboxes, apparently. Encased chain drive. Well, it does the same thing, but you can't see as much into the back area, so let's stick with that then. So we can close that up. I'm going to grab some more black concrete so you don't see outside here. It's a good way to get into the working area, but other than that, it doesn't look that nice. So let me just close you up. Pretend it's not there. One thing I didn't show you is on the exterior of the build, I added these like loads of blue flowers. This is all vanilla, and this I think that's quite a cool way to design like grass and add like loads of blue texture into it. It's quite a bright outside area, I'm not gonna lie, but it looks quite nice. And I haven't actually seen it with shaders on, which is what I want to do now. If I just enable shaders, BSL, let it load in for a minute. Here we go. So this is what the base looks like with shaders on. So if it's a little laggy, it's modded and shaders don't always work too well together. There we go. Also, BSL is generally a laggy shader. So maybe there's a different one that I could be using. Like rethinking voxels, that's less laggy. I'm going to cover up this glass and things like that, but this build looks very lovely. I'm happy with how that turned out. It's very cool in the end. Anyways, I don't know if that was a shorter video or a regular one, but thank you for everybody who's been coming to the channel recently. If you came to this video, I hope you had fun. I hope you thought it was interesting what we managed to figure out. I hope you like and subscribe. Please do join my Discord because it's very fun. We're talking a lot in there and, you know, just having a good community, having lots of fun like usual. And we've got lots of other stuff. So if you want to suggest video ideas like this, you can join the Discord and do that, or you can put it in the comments. I guess I don't have much else to say, except thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!